Hello and welcome. Today I'm working on piston fit drawers. I build my piston fit drawers from the back on forward. The reason being is that I like to fit each part individually to the drawer housing, and that allows me to fine-tune everything as I go. Basically, rather than having to build a bigger drawer and plane it to fit. So you'll see what I've done first is prep all the stock, and next step here is to tune the back of the drawer sides to fit the back. The back is in there. It's hard to see probably in this particular shot. And the back is fitted tight against the sides of the cabinet. Not so tight that I can't get it out, but tight enough that there's maybe a few thousandths on each side of it. And so what I do next is put in the drawer sides and just see how they meet up with the back of the drawer. Alright, now I've just finished up adjusting the backs of the drawer sides, and let's see if I can get a good shot of this. They fit in tightly to the drawer back. So the next step is to dovetail the back of these. These are through dovetails on the back. Now, since everything is already fitted and basically finish planed, it's good to make sure that the dovetails don't stick through or if they're too shallow. So you basically want to hit them right on and make sure that you're not changing your outside measurements by dovetailing too short or too wide. If you had to, too wide is preferable, because then you could bring these down to fit, as opposed to dovetailing these too short and then your drawer is a little loose. Now, I haven't touched the front of these drawer sides at all just yet. The reason being is that I'll make the final adjustments on those measurements after dovetailing the back of these. Both sides of the drawer have been dovetailed. Now we're ready to install. Now off camera I cut these to length and made the ends square, but the ends being cut square individually can lead to small inconsistencies. that result in a drawer face that does this. If you can hear it. Teeter-totter. The drawer face should be square. You can check it on a granite surface plate. A little tiny bit of teeter-totters, probably less than 1,000ths. But when you put it on here, teeter-totter. Alright, the problem's been eliminated. The teeter-totter's gone. Now, I just want to point out a few things. These are piston fit drawers, so you want to start with them as tight as possible. And also, there's no gap between this drawer and this drawer. We'll build the gap in after the fact, because there is an overhang on the drawers. So, see where I had the web frames behind the drawer face. Taking a look at this drawer, we realized that this is what it's going to look like, or this is the goal of what it will look like when it's finished. Of course with dovetails here, but I wanted to show the back of the drawer is set in about 1/2 inch from the bottom, and the front of the drawer is just the opposite, set in about 1/2 inch down. So this covers the web frame. This is what I was explaining earlier, and then this recess will allow the drawer bottom to fit in. The finished drawer, of course, is going to have drawer slips laminated into the bottom of the drawer sides. The reason being is that it will strengthen the drawer sides, provides a lamination so they have less tendency to bow over time. Not that I really expect they will, quarter sawn white oak. Unlike most, I actually do the same for the front. And one of the reasons for doing that, as opposed to incorporating it into the dovetail work, is primarily that we can put the drawer bottom lower in the drawer, making for deeper drawers that are not necessarily deeper from the outside. First thing I like to do when I'm laying out drawers is to, dovetails for drawers, is to strike the baseline. Now, without changing this gauge setting, we can transfer it directly to the drawer front. Okay, now we're ready to lay out the dovetails. I want these to match my previous drawer, so I'm going to set 1/4 inch top and bottom. Now what we have left between these is just about 3 inches, and now we know we need a dovetail and a gap between the dovetails. So we need 2 gaps, 3 dovetails. So the gaps can be centered at the inch markers. And then we need about a 1/16 of an inch gaps. So we're going to plan on basically a 32nd of an inch. You can do that by eyeball. These are half-blind dovetails, so I do taper them slightly. And what I mean when I say I taper them is that instead of having the saw straight on, I'll set it slightly inward. So that the dovetail is getting a little thicker as it enters the housing. And now that everything's dovetailed, we can see exactly how these fit. A little tight. Mostly because of the makeshift drawer tab. You can see I've built and installed my drawer slips. And the drawer bottoms are mostly finished. I used as much as I could out of the solid panel. Now I'm going to add the rest with another strip. Take note of a couple things. I've chamfered every corner for the most part. That helps to hide any minor inconsistencies in the gaps. And I'll still work on these gaps. This gap is a little bit larger than the one underneath of it. So I'm going to increase the gap between this one and this one. And probably a little bit between this one and this one as well. But for the most part, it's looking pretty good. Can show the dovetails from the side here. And these drawers can stick out pretty far. Before they get too loose. Well, I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you guys are following along with the blog. That's brianholcombwoodworker.com. So if you find that some of these videos seem a bit randomly placed, you can follow along with the blog, see the build as it unfolds.